13-year-old Madeline Soto was last seen on February 26th of 2024, and on March 1st of 2024 her body was found, and between those dates a man was arrested. That man was the ex-boyfriend of her mother, Jen Soto, and her mother had asked him to come over the night of February 25th to help her get a good night's rest, even though Jen Soto had 2 days off right after that. She wanted to get a good night's sleep and wanted help to take Maddie to school. At least that's the story we were told, right?
Please note that this content is for educational purposes and for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. More details available in the description box.
And so what makes this so sickening is that this mother sent her 13-year-old daughter, who just had her birthday party on that Sunday, upstairs with this man who was 37 or 38 years old. I think he was 37 at the time, to sleep in a bed upstairs, even though Jen Soto had a king-size bed. There was Maddie's sad makeshift room in the living area, so she could have slept there too. But no, she sent them upstairs. And he was initially charged between these two dates that I just mentioned with child SA material possession. He had over 1,500 images and videos, most of them, actually all of them from what we know so far, featuring Madeline Soto, and some of them dating back about 5 years, so when she was about 8 years old, when the abuse started. Later, he was charged with first-degree murder as well, and they said that Madeline had been strangled. So he's going to be facing 2 trials in 2025. One is scheduled for February 22nd of 2025. You know, these things are always subject to change. We'll see if those dates actually stick. And then he's got another trial coming up in September. The first trial is for the CSAM-related charges. The second trial is for his first-degree murder charges. Now, about 3 months ago, there's a story that I hadn't actually covered because there was no real connection to Madeline Soto besides that this guy was a teacher at her school. So let me just quickly show you that, because now there's been another update. There's yet another guy, but this one knew Maddie. This one was interviewed by the police on February 29th of 2024 about Maddie's disappearance. This guy that I'm about to tell you about was Maddie Soto's choir teacher, and he's now been arrested for doing things with minors as well. So we'll look at that, but first I want to show you the story from 3 months ago, just so that we can cover that as well, because it'll be, you know, the second teacher now arrested from Hunters Creek Middle School in Florida. Okay, so there we have the mugshot, and they say local middle school boys and girls club employee accused of CSAM possession. Police said 36-year-old Leesburg resident Mitchell Reagan, remember this is the one from 3 months ago, we're getting to the latest news right after this, okay? Now, Mitchell Reagan was arrested last week on a warrant that he was in possession of child SA material. According to the complaint, Homeland Security investigators executed a search warrant at Reagan's home and found an image of CSAM on his cell phone. Obviously, normally if they find one image, there's probably hard drives and all sorts with so many more. So Reagan is an employee at Hunters Creek Middle School. That's the school that Maddie attended. And they said in Orange County, and a local boys and girls club where he taught chess club and music lessons, police said. So it is interesting that he also taught music lessons, because the guy that was just recently arrested is the choir teacher. So, oh my goodness. Let's just resize it like this, and I'll expand it so you can see a little bit more. They said WFTV reached out to the Orange County Public Schools District, and the district provided the statement below. Mitchell Reagan is currently on administrative leave. This is a standard process when the district's Office of Professional Standards investigates allegations in cooperation with law enforcement. This person has not and will not return to the campus. Mr. Reagan was employed as a school secretary, at Hunters Creek Middle School, says the OCPS spokesperson. The Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida sent over the following statement on Reagan's arrest. They said there's nothing more important to Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida than maintaining a safe, secure environment for all our youth, volunteers, and employees. The individual has been terminated and will no longer have access to our programs or facilities, and we have notified our partners at Orange County Public Schools and will offer our full cooperation, to law enforcement if asked. We have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to any inappropriate or illegal behavior, and we maintain continuous monitoring of criminal records through the Florida Department of Children and Families, in addition to conducting pre-employment level 2 background check for all employees and volunteers. We have no reason to believe this arrest is related to or impacts any students in our after-school zone program. Our hearts go out to any victims and their families. That's Jamie Merrill Stateman, the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida. According to a report, Reagan admitted to agents that he had sent and received CSAM using an online social media application. Reagan faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in federal prison if convicted. So they didn't really say which app he used, but unfortunately, these types, I'm trying to censor for YouTube as usual, they usually use apps like Snapchat, Kik, Telegram, and Discord. So I don't know which one he used, and it's not to blame necessarily these platforms. I just wish these platforms were a little more strict and a little more careful, especially if there's images, being sent or received or asked for and things like that. One would hope that eventually AI can detect things like that and flag it so that, investigators can look at it quickly. Okay, now for the latest news. Okay, so let's have a look at this one right here. And so let's look at this news. Same school, unfortunately. We know that these predators are everywhere, but it is pretty shocking that there's now 2 arrested at the same school. And here as well, they will highlight that no one really says how they were investigated, how this came about. And I know people are going to speculate. They're going to wonder if it was, Stephan Sterns' devices, hard drives, if any of that evidence was traded with anyone else, sent to anyone else, and if that could be leading to more arrests. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I also wouldn't be surprised if it's just, the victims coming forward, or somebody giving the police a tip, or, someone discovering something on their device, or whatever it may be. So, Orange County, Florida. This is now the breaking news, right? The previous one, 3 months ago. A middle school teacher in Orange County has been charged with federal sex crimes involving a child, according to documents. Prosecutors said Italo Brett Bonini, a music teacher at Hunters Creek Middle School in Orange County, is facing felony charges for allegedly enticing a minor to engage in sexual activity. The victim is reported to be an 8-year-old boy. It's so disgusting to think that these people who work in positions where they should be trusted around children are taking total advantage of that. That's also a very scary thought. So court documents reveal that Bonini is accused of using Discord, a messaging app popular among gamers, to communicate with children who were physically located in Maryland, because maybe they think if they're not in my state, I'll get away with it. No, you won't. Although many do get away with it for a long time, which is also very sad. Investigators with the Maryland State Police said Bonini solicited an 8-year-old boy to expose himself in exchange for video game currency. You see, these groomers, same strategies always. There's always like something that the victim can earn, can have, and that's how they start grooming them. They first obviously present themselves as sometimes even a teenager, someone similar to their age, was just this innocent, caring person who just has the same interests. And then over time, they start grooming them and saying, well, if you want this, you're going to have to give me that. Oh my goodness. So they said, investigators said he solicited an 8-year-old boy to expose himself in exchange for video game currency. Bonini is also accused of exposing himself to the boy. Authorities said they traced Bonini's IP address to a home in Florida. And FBI investigators said that he admitted to owning and deleting a Discord account. Orange County Public Schools confirmed that Bonini has been placed on administrative leave, like the other dude, and will not return to the school during the investigation, and obviously not if convicted either. What we don't know, Bonini communicated with at least one other boy via Discord, according to court documents. It remains unclear if additional victims may be involved or if law enforcement has uncovered further evidence beyond Bonini's admission. Officials have not explained how the investigation began, whether it stemmed from a complaint, an undercover operation, or other means. There is also no information yet on whether Bonini had a prior history of similar accusations. The backstory. In January, a Maryland state trooper responded to the report of a computer crime involving 2 child victims. The father of the children told the trooper that he discovered disturbing messages in a Discord chat. The Discord user chatting with the children was later identified as Bonini, authorities said. So I would think that that is the tip that the police received that started this investigation. With assistance from the FBI, authorities said that they traced Bonini's IP address to a home in Florida and contacted local law enforcement. Bonini worked as a music teacher at Hunters Creek Middle School. His role in the school and how he interacted with students outside of class is not fully known, but this particular interaction occurred online with a child in another state. Discord, the app that Bonini allegedly used, is widely used by children and teenagers for chatting while gaming. In recent years, law enforcement agencies have raised concerns about the platform's vulnerabilities, particularly in cases involving inappropriate communication between adults and minors. But we know it happens on many social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Kik, even on X. Sometimes if you post a missing child's flyer, right under that, all these like horrible bots will post literal CSAM. If you ever see that, if you experience something like that, please report it, because it helps, right? It will help to highlight the problem. We can't just scroll on by and do nothing. Please report it. Okay, so they said what they're saying. The principal of Hunters Creek Middle School sent a voice message to parents following the charges against Bonini, in which she said, "This individual will not be returning to the school during the investigation. Please be ensured that we take all allegations very seriously, as the safety of our students and staff is always my top priority." And of course, these are just allegations. This guy is innocent until proven guilty. We are going to re-listen to his, police audio interview about Madeline Soto's disappearance. That was before they found Maddie's body. FBI agents stated that Bonini admitted to owning and deleting his Discord account and expressed remorse, telling investigators that, hold me back. He said that he fell into temptation and that I should not have. I'm not a sick individual. I made a mistake. Bro, you are a sick individual if you are whipping it up for an 8-year-old boy and asking the 8-year-old boy to send you CSAM material. You're abusing this child, okay, in order for him to get some kind of currency for a game, right? That's sick. To say, you see, that's just denial. I'm not a sick individual. I mean, there he admits that he fell into temptation. Please. I should not have. Common sense. Don't do that. I'm not a sick individual. I made a mistake. You tell me what you think in the comments. Parents in the district like Diana Chacon said that they are concerned. Teachers are the second parents, said Chacon. To just go and feel like they can't be in a safe place is really scary. And now it's 2 teachers already, right? So Madeline Soto's case happened, and the ex-boyfriend who dropped her off at school, that never happened. We know the timeline, right? If you don't, go check out the playlist. But that already put quite a spotlight on the school, and now it's like, whoa, teacher after teacher getting arrested for being inappropriate with children. Chacon said she's worried about her children talking to people online. This is a worldwide problem, right? We've talked about it a lot on my channel. I will link some previous episodes for you. We recently looked at a case where there was a hospice care doctor enticing minors online and asking them to harm themselves to the point where one actually died. So it can get really scary. So I'm going to link those 2 videos. There's one from that's called like an FBI warning to parents about, all this online activity. And then there's another one about that doctor that we'd also looked at. He was also in Florida. Not to blame Florida. It happens everywhere. Okay. So you trust your kids, but then again, you don't know who they're speaking with. It's just like these random people, she added. These kids are innocent and stuff, and they're like, it's just a game. I think, even though, as you guys know, I don't have children, I'm not a parent, I'm not here to give any parental advice. I just would imagine, it would be a good idea to let children know that they can come and talk to you if anyone is being inappropriate with them online. Because sometimes what happens is that these online predators will groom children, and then when the children send like one picture, then the sextortion begins, or then the threats begin of saying, well, if you don't send me another picture, I'm going to send this picture to all your friends at school. Or I'm going to send this that you sent me. Yeah, I'm going to tell your parents that you did this. And then the child lives in fear and they feel like they have no one to talk to. And sometimes that ends in total tragedy where the child takes their own life because they can't deal with that threat. They can't deal with the shame. So I think just, making it clear to kids that they can always come and talk to you or to the counselor or to whoever if somebody is doing that to them would probably be a good idea. So they said David Rivera is a father of a student in the district, and he says the district should have a more thorough screening process when hiring teachers. The problem is, if someone like this guy is only 25 years old, this Italo Brett guy is 25, if he doesn't have any prior history, any prior records, then obviously his record would be clean. So they said they should do background checks for teachers, look at their social media, who are they talking to. Obviously, they can't see that, I'll show you. This guy, he's got a YouTube channel, he's got a Facebook page. You will never know. You will never know what he's doing in the direct messages. So, big picture view. The case highlights ongoing concerns about the safety of children in online spaces where adults can easily communicate with minors. As more children engage in online gaming and social networking, cases like this raise questions about the need for stronger safeguards and parental oversight. What's next? They said the Orange County Public Schools says Bonini has been suspended and will not return to the school during the criminal investigation. Now, there's another article here that actually gave just a little bit more detail, about this Bonini guy and which app he used and all of that. So let's just quickly have a look at this. So here they say, Orlando man accused of disturbing sex chats with children online. Italo Brett Bonini, 25. By the way, thank you to everyone that emailed me this. I got a flood of emails this morning already. I'm in Switzerland, of course, so I'm 6 hours ahead of Eastern time, and yet my inbox was full of this story, and I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, let me look at it, and yes, let me make a video for you guys as you have asked me to. So Orange County, Florida, an Orlando man has been arrested after investigators said that he pushed two young boys to commit sex acts over video chat, according to court records released on Wednesday. In a criminal complaint, investigators said that they learned last month about two children in Maryland who had been victims of computer crime. One of the children had set up a Discord account while staying with his grandparents, and his father later discovered disturbing messages between the child and another user, the complaint states. So, well done to that father. You see something, you say something, you call the police, you report them. According to investigators, that user had offered the 8-year-old boy and his younger brother Robux, an in-game currency for the popular children's video game Roblox, to perform sex acts for him via computer. Multiple messages from the suspect were observed telling the two young boys to, and now it's obviously timed out, stand by, telling the two young boys to take the computer to a more private spot away from the adults. And then he wants to tell us that he's not a sick individual. Earth to that guy. You're a sick individual based on your own admissions there, your messages that they're claiming you sent, and these allegations. Investigators said that on Tuesday they were eventually able to identify the user as Italo Brett Bonini, 25, who was living in a home along Santa Clara Drive in Orlando. Santa Clara Drive, that sounds kind of familiar, but okay. I'm saying it because there's other cases that we've talked about kind of connected to Stephan Sterns. I'm not trying to connect this guy to Stephan Sterns. In my mind, I'm just like, is there a network? Are they sharing these pictures? And I'm just like so worried about that, of course. And I hope that in catching Stephan Sterns and these two teachers, that they can actually maybe arrest more people if they were sharing this, because they usually would. Per the complaint, Brett Bonini told detectives during an interview that he lived there since 2001, though he'd recently deleted his Discord account because he was disgusted with himself. During the interview, but before discussing the details of the allegations or genders of the victims, Brett Bonini stated that he was not even gay and that he fell into temptation that I should not have. I'm not a sick individual, I made a mistake. Again, denial is big with this one. Detectives explained that Brett Bonini admitted to communicating with children on Discord because they were easier to talk to. And he liked the control aspect of the chat. Yeah, groomer motto, dumbass. I just like the control of the chat and they were easier to talk to. Yeah, that's what makes you the sick individual, you see? Picking on vulnerable children. abusing them, okay, allegedly, with a young boy. Brett Bonini also admitted to asking the boy to perform sex acts over the video chat, investigators noted. Now he faces a charge of enticing a minor using a facility of interstate commerce. Sure, okay, now look at this. Here's his Facebook page. And I really had to do a double take because I'm like, what? This guy looks so young. He is young. He's only 25 years old. So let's first look at this, okay? Again, these are just allegations. He's innocent until proven guilty. But based on what he's already alleged to have done and his own statements that's being quoted there, let's look at his freaking Facebook page. Now, firstly, what we can see is not to blame Disney, but damn it, man, there's a lot of these cases connected to freaking Disney. Stephan Sterns worked at Disney, Madeline Soto worked at Disney, and that's the case we're really focusing on now, of course. And it's just like, really, your banner right there is Donald Duck. Okay. And he's got a post about that as well. So he said Orlando-based pianist, vocal performer, and music educator. And then over here it says he, him, his, music director at Hunters Creek Community Chorus. Yeah, probably not anymore. Not for now. Okay. So director of choral activities at Hunters Creek Middle OCPS, bass at the Missile Tones, vocalist at Entertainment Central Productions, and then bass at the Carolinco, and all of this. Piano accompanist at Italo Brett Music. You see that right there? Well, we'll probably have to look at that page as well. Okay, went to Freedom High, lives in Orlando, Florida, and there's how you pronounce his name, right? Okay, so we can see that, and now if we just scroll through some of his posts here. Yes, let's go to, sure, there's more Disney. You see it? Let's just go to this post right here. I don't even know which one to click on right now because I'm just like, oh my word. And he's got a YouTube channel as well, as I say. Let's just see what they say here, okay? I'm showing you this as well because I'm pretty sure this page will be taken down soon. This is public record, by the way. Okay, so Italo Brett Jr. dressed up as everyone's favorite neighbor. Yeah, like a red flag. We see it, dude. You're looking like a red flag right about now. Okay, everyone's favorite neighbor. Yeah, okay. Italo Brett, there he is again. Right, he said just playing around. Here he said just hanging with my favorite scientist from the Muppet Labs. Yeah. And you trying to bait any children with all of this? Oh, he said I've met Mickey Mouse once or twice or more times than I can count. That's cool. Just leave the children alone, buddy. My word, okay. Just really, I have to like, you hold me back. I could snark so much about this. Just leave children alone. Italo Brett, look at him. There's in Disney World, right? In Florida, is it? I always get them wrong. Disneyland, Disney World. I think Disney World is in Florida. Correct me. I'm sure Floridians will. They'll be like, no, Grizzly, that's not it. So now just check this out. If we keep scrolling here on his posts, shame. You know, when I saw this, it did remind me, of course, of Maddie Soto because I think she loved Lilo and Stitch. It seemed like she had Lilo and Stitch pajamas as well. She might have even gotten it for a birthday. I remember seeing it in that like clothing hamper and it still had tags on it and all of that. So if we just go here, right, we keep scrolling. You'll see in a moment, where's that post? Or did it now already delete it? No, we're getting to it. Just wait. There's Amazon. We knew how excited Stephan was for his Amazon and other packages. Choir, yes. Now here, he posted about Maddie right here. February 27th of 2024. Madeline is still missing as of this afternoon. If you have any information that could be of any help, please contact Crime Line or myself, and it will be relayed to the proper authorities. Let's bring her home. Now, I'm not accusing him of doing anything to Madeline or anything like that. I'm just saying how ironic that he shared this and how ironic how her case turned out and who Stephan Sterns turned out to be and what his allegations and charges are, right? And so what's interesting is he posted that on February 27th of 2024, and then the police spoke to him. They interviewed him on February 29th. So we're going to listen to that together now. I'm actually just going to, maybe, I just want to keep a picture of him up in the background here. Right? Is this a good one? We'll put this one and then we'll listen to that audio interview again together. It's only 6 minutes and 41 seconds, right? So on February 29th, the police went to interview him about Madeline Soto's disappearance. Little did he know that it would turn out that the person who's accused of murdering Madeline is a predator, and the allegations of this guy is that he's also a predator, apparently targeting boys. So just think in hindsight, once he realized that, which was pretty quick because Stephan Sterns was arrested, wasn't he arrested on February 28th or so? So he must have figured out pretty quickly, oh crap, like Look what he's been arrested for. That was close. You know why I say that? Because the police were talking right to him. That must have been pretty nerve-wracking to think, what if the police find out what I've done? Well, they did. They did eventually find out exactly what you did. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let's play the interview. We've listened to it before. It's on the playlist. It's in the video section. I've got police video interviews, police audio interviews, and all sorts on the playlist. If you haven't heard it before, we've done a deep dive on this case, of course, and we're following it very closely. So now let's listen to what the police asked this guy on February. Let's just hear the date exactly from this interview. Here we go.
Today's date is February 29, 2024. The time is
February 29th. I think that was like a day after Stephan Sterns was arrested. So don't you think that would make this guy nervous? You know? If Stephan Sterns was arrested on February 28th, and then they're speaking to this guy on February 29th, and then it's like breaking news of Stephan Sterns being arrested for possession of CSAM. Yeah. You see, it's going to be interesting to listen to this together for a second
15,
time.
20 hours. It's reference to Orange County case number 24-011313. I'm Detective Bradshaw with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Sir, can you state your first name for me, please?
My name is Italo.
Spell it for me.
Italo.
What's your last name?
Brett. B-R-E-T-T.
Okay. So, Mr. Brett, you are a teacher here at Meadowwoods, or I'm sorry, not Meadowwoods.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so I just had a couple of questions for you in reference to, assume that she was one of your students. Would that be correct?
She was, yes.
Okay, what period did you have her in?
I had her initially in 6th period for the start of the year. And
Okay.
then she requested to be moved to 3rd period because she was having some issues of like not being able to keep up, or rather, she was keeping up, but it was too many behavioral issues around her. So she was getting tired. She requested to move to 3rd.
So not behavioral issues like specifically with her, but with other kids that were in your class that she didn't like.
Correct, yeah.
I got it. Okay. Did she ever talk to you about her home life, anything that was going on with her, anything like that?
No.
She never said anything to you? Did at any point, did she ever disclose any sort of physical or sexual or mental abuse to you?
No.
Okay. Did she ever express to you at any time if she had any mental or medical diagnosis?
No.
Okay. Did she discuss taking any medications with you for anything?
No, the only time I've ever seen her take anything was Tylenol.
Okay.
In the front office, Miss Schilling could confirm with that too, because we both kind of saw her because we were trying to figure out how to make sure that she was okay to take those.
Okay.
In here, so.
Did you notice any sort of like recent changes in her behavior from the start of the school year until now?
Not really, no. She just seemed happier within the 3rd period class that we were in,
Okay.
which is the advanced treble course I have. She seemed happier there. She learned her music really quickly, as with the rest of the girls in that class. She usually is very participatory. She's usually up performing with us. She doesn't miss a concert. She doesn't miss anything. The only thing I guess I could note is like on Friday she was sitting, but that a lot of the girls sit at random times, and that's related to either they have cramps or whatever. So I didn't think that was odd, but she usually is up and participating and active.
Now, when he says that on the Friday, Madeline was sitting, he's referring to the last Friday that she was ever at school. Because by the Monday, she was deceased. And the ex-boyfriend of Jane Soto was pretending to take her to school. And just being like, wow, she never made it to the school. Remember that story? So, on her last day at school, she wasn't, by what he's saying, standing up and doing her usual. She was like sitting down, That's sad. In hindsight, of course.
She didn't tell you that anything was wrong on Friday?
No.
Okay, she didn't mention to you that anything had been going on or that she was feeling sad or down or anything like that? Okay. And you haven't, in your opinion...
Just a note, the Thursday before, the 22nd of February of 2024, was Madeline Soto's 13th birthday. She had a party on the 25th, the Sunday, right, at her grandmother's house. But the Thursday before was her birthday, and then that Friday, in this music class, she was apparently just sitting down. And then on the Saturday, she had some kind of meltdown where she was telling her friend that she's having a meltdown and all that. And she was upset because a lot of her friends had cancelled going to her party on the Saturday. And then according to Stephan Sterns' mother, Maddie had phoned Stephan to say, like, are you still coming to my birthday party? Are you still going to be there? And Stephan's mother says that Maddie really wanted him there. We've speculated other options to that, of course. But what's interesting is that, he never went to her birthday party. He wasn't invited. Maddie's grandmother and family didn't like Stephan, so he wasn't invited to the party. But yet he left his parents' home because, he lived with his parents, or Jen Soto. He left his parents' home on Sunday morning-ish. And what was he doing that entire day? Because he only got to the house at like 8:45 p.m. that night. Anyway.
You haven't seen her have any sort of signs that she's been depressed since the beginning of the school year at all, or any suicidal?
Like, she just seemed pretty normal, very, very happy, easy making her friends. I would say she bloomed a lot more in third because she had her friends there. So she was more outspoken, more confident. She's very helpful in my class. She even organized my piano once because it was all papers on top of it. She put it all together. She wanted to do that. So, that's not noticed anything off about her.
Okay. Now, I don't know how you do your grades or anything like that in your class. Has she declined at all in her participation, like in her grades, anything of that nature that you've noticed?
She maintains pretty steady, and I just grade participation if you're standing and performing and the concerts. So I've not noticed anything of decline. She is there. That the only time, and even on Friday when she was sitting, I think she was still singing with us. She was just sitting down, which was the only thing,
That was different.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. How about her? You've never overheard her talking to her friends about anything like that at all?
When I send a message and talking points or whatever, she reads them. I've gotten before me on Monday evening.
That was redacted by the police, by the way.
Wasn't home yet.
Okay.
She was like, "Hey, it's school today," so.
I think they're redacting, obviously, Jen Soto's name.
She, so she knows, she can reach out to me and it's open to do so and anything because that's, she's always involved. So.
Okay. So since the beginning of the school year, more so happy now that she's in your third period, able to make friends. She's pretty consistent. So nothing out of the ordinary that you can think of off the top of your head that would be alarming or.
Alarming. The only most alarming thing I've seen was the message that Monday when she was missing. So.
Okay, and what was that message?
It was, I can read it to you.
Okay.
Talking points. So this was through the app Talking Points. Talking Points is what district and county uses to communicate between teachers.
Okay.
It's faster than emails, just texting. So that's loading. So on Monday, February 26th at 5:36 p.m., she said, "Hi, make it to school today. She hasn't made it home today." Then at 5:53, when I was able to reply back, I said, "Hi, Miss Soto. I don't know. Checking Skyward, she was absent for periods 1 to 5 and period 7. Period 6, I guess, hadn't marked her, but that's not really so strange because sometimes teachers just forget. That happens. So, but yeah, I told her, that's very alarming. Just, please keep me informed." Then I reported it to my teacher mentor. So, and then she reported it to Kelly Armstrong and everyone else in the school. And I guess and she'd been waiting for the police for a while. So I kind of talked a little bit then. I asked at 6:20 she was home yet. Hasn't made it home yet. Waiting for the police. And then so I've heard the cop trying to speed things up, but that was it. So then I haven't reached out back because I'm trying to be giving her space. So.
Okay. Is there anything else you can think of that I haven't asked you that you can recall right now, or anything else you want to tell me?
Nothing comes to mind. I think, her behavior is pretty consistent in class. She's, whenever I see her out of class or whatever, I would say hi. She replies back normally. So.
And she seems like a pretty happy.
Yeah, she just seems pretty happy. It was just, and that's why part of it, why it was so shocking that she'd be gone, is just how close it happened. How she just, whenever people started saying maybe she ran away, it just didn't seem like it to me that she could be the type to run away. Okay. But then, of course, information started coming out about what was happening, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what was happening, huh?
Okay. Do you swear and affirm everything you told me is true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. So the time is now 15:26 hours.
And that's the end of that interview. No, I did tell you I would show you his YouTube channel as well. Here it is. Okay. It's called Italo Brett Musician. And if you really want to see him sing. Okay, so let's just look. Italo Brett music. And yeah, you can just see it, okay? I'm not going to be linking this or anything. I just wanted to show you that Yeah, he's pretty active on social media. He's got a YouTube channel, he's got a Facebook page, he's also got this other Facebook page, Italo Brett Music as well. He said Orlando-based pianist, a vocal performer, and music educator. So, yes, let's quickly have a look at this to see any photos that he's got when your students finally get it. Oh, do you think what he's accused of doing online, though? That's just so bad, right? I mean, you see what I mean? Like this, it's just obviously the first impression, like that one dad was very upset and saying, well, teachers should check their social media and see who they're talking to. Well, you're not going to know. If you look at his social media like this, there's nothing wrong with it. It's about what's going on in the direct messages. So I think the only way to deal with it is to, as that dad did, report when you find disturbing message. I hope that never happens to any of you. Touch wood, okay? Wow. If one ever finds disturbing messages between children and an adult, yeah, that should be reported to the police, okay? And also for children to know that they can have a safe space to talk if they ever need to, which I really hope isn't the case. But unfortunately, yeah, these types are thriving on social media, and it's actually really, really scary. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to everyone who sent me all this news. I will keep you posted. Of course, the most recent live stream that we did about this case was about all these depositions and motions and things that Stephan Sterns' team, the defense team, are filing, and that would be obviously very normal in preparation for the pre-trial hearing coming up and the trial in Feb, and there's a trial in September as well, and he is facing capital punishment. So they are throwing everything at the wall to defend their client, right? They don't want victim impact statements to be read. If read, they want it read by a neutral party. They don't want, obviously, the death penalty as a sentencing option. There's all sorts that we've gone through, and yes, I told you in that last episode, which I'll also link for you in the description box, that there'll probably be more, and there have been more, but it's pretty much more of the same. It's many more of similar requests, you know what I mean? So I will update you if there's anything interesting going on in this case. I did think that this was now interesting. That is someone that the police interviewed about Maddie's disappearance. So we have his audio interview, and he was arrested for doing what they say he did with children on Discord. I mean, that is so sad. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to look after your mental health, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.